Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to Healthy Living with Vincent, Healing by Design. Last week I started a series which I called Promoting Cellular Health. Today I'm going to dive into how we promote cellular health. Now, a little recap from last week. I was teaching on why we get sick in a way, where I was looking at the fact that people have neglected how to take their cell, feed it, protect it, and cleanse it. Now, we all started as one single cell. Now, one cell knew how to replicate and multiply and become so fruitful that it yielded a 100 trillion cells, which is us. So if one cell could multiply and become 100 trillion cells, then that tells us that it is very, very important that we take care of our cell. Now, Guyton's medical textbook of physiology now teaches us that the cell is the smallest functional unit of life. The smallest. So cell on top of each cell on top of each cell gives us what we call tissues. Now tissues come together to perform a particular function. We call it an organ. And organs work together to bring about a particular function or a group of functions. We call them systems. So for us to move from a cell to a system, it means that those cells would have to be taken care of. Otherwise, if the cell isn't functioning properly, then the system isn't going to function properly, and then we call it sickness. Now, when the rate of damage exceeds the rate of repair, we have sickness. So, our human body has got an innate intelligence which allows it to know what to do to heal itself. So I always like to teach this. I always say that the healing is already in the package. So if you cut yourself, now you could choose to pray or not to pray. Your body will heal itself, whether you like it or not. Why? Because it's already in the package. Does it make sense? Okay, so now let's dive into how we promote the health of our cells. Now, last week we said we've got to feed the cell, we have to cleanse the cell, and we have to protect these cells. Now, to feed, I'll take the first bit, to feed the cells. Now, in nature, God has given us food groups. So we've got macronutrients, which the major ones are our proteins, our carbohydrates, and our fats. Then we've got micronutrients, things like vitamins, minerals, trace elements, enzymes, and these two together is basically what we use in feeding the cells. Now, what are proteins? Proteins, like I've said before, they are the healing nutrients for our body. How does it do it? Now, your body takes a piece of protein, it will break it down into amino acids. So you've got a group of amino acids which hold hands with each other through carbon bonding, and together they form a particular type of protein for a particular reason in your body. So just picture amino acids as little healing agents in your body. They're like handymen in your body with their hammers and their saws, and they go to various parts of the body to heal those areas. They repair. Proteins repair, damaged tissues and cells. For example, when we talk about an amino acid like taurine, L-taurine, Now, taurine and carnitine, they are specifically targeted to your heart muscles. We've got things targeted for skeletal muscles, like branched-chain amino acids, like valine, leucine, isoleucine. These amino acids, they target skeletal muscles to repair them. And there are various kinds of amino acids that do this job. So they know what to do. Nature has made this in such a way that when you eat these quality amino acids, you will get these, or when you eat these quality proteins, you will get these amino acids which will go in and heal various areas that are damaged or are struggling in your body. And these cells will need these amino acids to repair. If you take a cell and you repair it, now when that cell replicates, it will replicate another healthy cell. And over a period of time, all your cells will replicate into a healthy cell, and then you have a healthy human body. Now, science has shown that every 3 months, your red blood cells will change over to a new one. So if you have a healthy red blood cell, what will happen? You will replicate another healthy red blood cell. When the Bible says that, multiply, replicate, and fill the earth, this is already in the design. Your cells are constantly multiplying. And to be able to do this, you need proteins to achieve this. Proteins help your DNA to replicate and produce quality, another quality, cell. So without proteins, you cannot repair all these damaged cells. Then you need them, you see. Proteins help you to repair or to bring about a nerve firing to bring about an action. If I want to lift up this arm, what happens? What will happen is that I will need there's a spark in the nerves that will cause my arm to move, that will hit my brain, and my brain will send a message to that part of the body for me to be able to move my hand. Now, that calls for proteins to do that. We've got enzymes that need proteins to be able to for you to make these enzymes, you need proteins in your body. And so if proteins are so important in repairing and rebuilding, and healing certain parts of your body, then it means that you need to put quality proteins, meats, good meats, organic, healthy meats, not meats that are full of antibiotics and hormones. No, you need quality organic meat to be able to derive the quality amino acids that your body needs when it's broken down. You see, you have cheese, get good cheese. You've got eggs, eat good organic eggs. Now, these have got specific amino acids to do the job. Now, some people will say, what about the cholesterol that comes with the protein? Now, nature, if you take something like egg has got its own ability to break down the cholesterol there. It's got a substance called lecithin. Lecithin will help break down the cholesterol that is within the egg. Nature knows what to do. God has already put it in the design. So when we eat it, we derive the benefits that our body needs. You don't go running away from good fats in the name of putting on weight. No, fats don't necessarily make you put on weight. It's when you eat them with sugar, that's when you store the fats, because your body cannot depend on two forms of energy at the same time. So refined sugars is what make you put on weight. It's not the fats that are found naturally in foods like meat or cheese or butter or eggs. Now, these foods come with fat-soluble vitamins. So if you strip the fats off, you strip the vitamins as well. You see? The next one is carbohydrates. What are carbohydrates? Now, carbohydrates, there are two forms of carbohydrates that I want you to focus on. We've got simple carbohydrates and we've got complex carbohydrates. Now, simple carbohydrates, what are they? They are things like, you hear things like fructose, sucrose, lactose. Anything that ends with an ose is most likely to be a simple sugar. Now, complex carbohydrates are the ones that come in nature. They are the natural carbohydrates that actually in their nature, they have a fat molecule attached to the carbohydrate. They have a protein attached to the carbohydrate. And in nature, they have complex. They don't break down that easily when they get into the body to upset your insulin. So when they get in, they break down gradually so that your insulin levels remain basically very stable. You see, so that's what we mean by complex. Whole foods have complex carbohydrates. They are not simple, you see. So with carbohydrates will help you release energy. Now, carbohydrates release energy, but fats release more energy than carbohydrates. If you take a log of carbohydrates and you burn it, you get 4 kilocalories of energy. If you take the same log of fats and you burn it, you will get 9 kilocalories of energy. Now, this is 2.25 times more than what carbohydrates will give you. But you need the two in a good balance to be able to provide you with energy that you need. Now, your cells need energy sometimes very quick, sometimes they need them in a slow release manner. So the slow release energy is what the fats do. When you have when you're in a fat burning cycle, you release slow energy that helps your body perform all the functions that it performs. So the kidneys are working, they need slow energy coming in constantly. You've got your lungs are working, your vascular system is working. All these systems, your nervous system, they use energy, slow release energy from fats. Your body is designed to run on fats. Carbohydrates are stored and used when you need fast and quick energy, like you want to run, like you want to do something that means that you need to burn the energy quickly. That's when you need carbohydrates. So your body is designed to run on fats, which are 2.25 times more than carbohydrates. But then you still need carbohydrates, but in the complex form, not in the simple the simple ones. You need them from natural sources like fruits, because those ones don't hit your insulin level that bad. Why? Because they get absorbed straight into your liver and they are stored there, and then they can be converted into the blood when they are needed. So they don't affect you, and they come with vitamins and minerals that your body needs to function. Your cells need them. They need these nutrients. So carbohydrates, you see, then is important. The problem though with carbohydrates that people eat, the quantity they eat is too much, and that affects them through insulin. The kinds of carbohydrates they eat, people can live on fries all through. It's a form of carbohydrate, but they are all very simple. They break down quickly. They hit insulin. Now, insulin comes into the system and a lot of functions in the body will have to stop. You see? So carbohydrates are very important, but eat them in the complex form, not in the simple form all the time. In the complex form, they don't affect your insulin too much. Eat quality carbohydrates in whole foods. That's what you need to be eating. Then when we take fats are very important as well. Now we derive what we call fatty acids from fats. Now these fatty acids are very important. They go and on your cell membrane, they insulate it, they protect it, and they kind of allow nutrients to move in and out of the cells. So for your nutrients to move, your carbohydrates to move, they have to go across a cell membrane, which we call a bilayer phospholipid membrane. What that simply means is that you've got 2 layers of fat around the cell. You see, bilayer phospholipid membrane, 2 layers of fat around the cell. Now, what would you like to put around your cell?